don't do it. Or at least here's a few reasons on why you might not want to move to Claremont, California and some of the surrounding cities. You're gonna want to stick around for the whole video because these 5 reasons on why not to move here might surprise you. Okay, so I'm just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna tell you all 5 right up front, but then we're gonna dive deeper and you're gonna wanna stick around to hear all the details because this really could affect your move. Number 1 is the cost of living here in Claremont. Number 2 is the limited job opportunities that are available in this area. Number 3, traffic and commute times. And yes, we're gonna talk about LA traffic. Number 4, the warm climate. And number 5, the limited nightlife and entertainment. So those are the 5 reasons on why you might not want to move to Claremont, but you might be thinking to yourself, well, what's the details and why are those 5 negative reasons to move to Claremont? Well, I'm gonna break them all down for you right now. Stick around. So reason number 1, cost of living. Of course, Claremont is located in Los Angeles County and it's in Southern California. Everybody knows that Southern California is one of the most expensive places to live, and it just doesn't mean buying a house or even your monthly rent. Really, everything's expensive here. And to get a sense of how expensive Claremont, California is, let's compare it to a city that is ranked right in the middle of your average cost of living. So if you go to bestplaces.net, it allows you to compare the cost of living between cities or counties. So I put in Claremont, California in on one side, and then I found a city that was ranked to be in the middle, according to averages, when it came to cost of living in the United States. And the city that we chose for this example is Midland, Texas, because again, it's in the average in the United States. So we're comparing Claremont, California to the average in the United States. And the difference is pretty significant. If we look at the chart, the overall index, which is homeowner, no child care, taxes not considered, the difference is almost 45% more expensive in Claremont than it is in Midland, Texas. Food and groceries, it's actually pretty close. Midland, Texas is only about 6% less, so that cost is kind of a wash. It's pretty negligible. Housing is a big one, and this is strictly for homeowners, so this doesn't take into account rents, but obviously I'm not familiar with rents in Midland, Texas, but I would believe that this would translate pretty well to rent as well as homeownership costs. So in Midland, Texas, you're looking at a metric of 113.3, and in Claremont, California, you're looking at 294.3, and that difference is almost 62%. So the homeownership cost alone is going to be the biggest cost. And if you look at the median home cost in Claremont, California, that is $823,400, which I can tell you that's about right. Here in Claremont, we do have a mix of condos from the $450,000 to $700,000 range. And then your single family homes really start at about $800,000 and they can go all the way up to 2 or 3 million. But a big chunk of the single family home property prices are about $900,000 to $1.2 million, depending on what you're looking for. In Midland, Texas, on the other hand, that is $271,000 for the median home cost. And that's a huge 67% difference. Of course, there's other factors as well. Auto insurance is historically expensive here in Southern California. We have a lot of cars, we have a lot of people, which ups the odds and the statistics in terms of automobile accidents, traffic infractions, vehicle theft, all of that stuff. Now, it's important to remember that those statistics are going to be different in different areas of LA County and Los Angeles. And because Claremont, California does fall under the umbrella of Los Angeles County, our rates are a little bit higher for auto insurance because of the downtown metropolitan area that is LA. Another thing to look at is utilities, and this one isn't a huge difference here. In Midland, Texas, it's 99.3. Here in Claremont, California, it's 103.6. So not a huge difference, only about 4%. Where there is a big difference though is transportation costs. In Midland, Texas, you're looking at a metric of 74.5. Whereas in Claremont, California, you're looking at 151.2. So again, Another big difference in the cost of living, about 50%. Now, again, keep in mind, this is just the cost of living compared to an average city. If you're someone that's already living in a high cost of living area like New York, Boston, Seattle, Portland, and even some place like Austin, Texas, then if you do move to Claremont, chances are you're not going to really see much of a difference in what you would normally see in where you currently live now. Let's move on to reason number 2 on why you should not move to Claremont, California, and that is the limited job opportunities here in Claremont and the surrounding area. Of course, we have a lot of industries, there's businesses all over the place, but your job opportunities are kind of limited in some aspects. We don't have a whole lot of major companies, there's no significant downtown area unless you commute into either Pasadena or downtown Los Angeles, which we'll get into the problem with that in the next section, but there's just not a whole lot of industries to work in. If you are someone who's looking to start a small business, a shop, a restaurant, a bar, a boutique, then Claremont and the surrounding areas can offer some opportunities. The two biggest areas that we have that would be most suitable for transferring your job would be academia and healthcare. Claremont is an aging city, and we do have a pretty high population of older citizens. And of course, as people age, they do need health services. So just in Claremont alone, we have multiple retirement facilities and active senior living communities, and they all need healthcare representation. And the other thing that Claremont is known for is the Claremont Colleges. There's 7 colleges that were founded between the late 1800s and into the early 1900s. Some were founded more recently than that, but it's kind of modeled after the Oxford plan in England. And it's just a group of small elite colleges that are very well known. So if you are someone that's involved in academia, if you're currently a professor at a college or a doctor looking to get into the teaching field, there are options. Additionally, we have Western University, which is a college in Pomona, which is just about maybe 10 minutes away from the downtown Claremont area. And that also offers opportunities in academia as well. So it really just depends on what field you're in, and I would highly recommend looking for the job prior to moving out to Claremont. I know that sounds very straightforward and kind of dumb, but you'd be surprised. Some people move here and then they feel like they're stuck having to commute far away places, and they spend a lot of time in the car, which is a perfect segue into reason number 3 on why you don't want to move to Claremont. So reason number 3, traffic and traffic congestion. Again, like I said, we are a suburb of Los Angeles, and LA traffic is a very real thing, and we do have to deal with it. Now keep in mind, Los Angeles to Claremont, it's about 35-40 miles, and we are definitely not considered to be LA. We are only considered to be LA because technically we are LA County, but we are on the very eastern tip of LA County, and we're right on the border between LA and San Bernardino. So if you're driving locally around town, traffic isn't too bad. Now, if you try to drive somewhere between 4:30 p.m. and 6 p.m., a lot of people are out, they're getting home from work, they're going to pick up their kids, they're dropping their kids off at baseball practice. So the streets can be a little bit congested at those times. And again, between about 8 a.m. and 9:15 a.m., the local streets can be a little bit congested with your routine morning traffic. However, where we do see the congestion really kick in is if you need to commute for work or for school. If you live in Claremont and you need to commute to Pasadena and you do that commute Monday through Friday, at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., it only looks like it's about 22 miles or 25 miles on the map, but it could easily take you an hour and 10 minutes to go that distance because traffic. Same goes for commuting into downtown LA, or if you have to go to the west side. A similar type of congestion can happen if you're looking to go to Orange County, if you work a little bit further south or are going to attend Cal State Fullerton. But I will say the traffic, if you head east, is a little bit lighter. So if you live in Claremont and need to make a morning commute to, say, Cal State San Bernardino because you choose to take a job there, your commute is going to be a little bit better because you're going to be going opposite of the major traffic congestion. Okay, so on to reason number 4 on why you might not want to live in Claremont. And this really comes down to personal preference. We have a warm Mediterranean climate. And you might think, well, that doesn't sound so bad, but it can get hot here in Claremont. I mean, like pretty dang hot. After all, we don't live that far from a desert, and just over our foothill community mountains, is a very large desert that gets very hot and dry. So while the mountains do help us retain some of the ocean breezes and ocean air, we are still about 45 to 50 miles off the coast, and it can get really hot here. A couple summers ago, we had about a 15-day stretch where we were over triple digits. Now, that's not common, but it certainly can happen. What I will say for our warmer climate is that we are pretty prepared for it. All of our buildings and restaurants and houses pretty much have AC standard, and it works pretty well. Of course, every once in a while you'll run across a historic building that might not have air conditioning, but the odds are really, really low. Even your apartment rental is going to have some type of window or wall air conditioning unit. But again, most businesses, restaurants, and homes have central AC standard and built in, and it does get hot, but we've come to adapt to it, and it's just kind of a way of life here. However, if you are moving from a colder climate, Seattle, maybe even internationally from Canada or the UK or New England, and you're going to spend your first summer in Claremont, especially if you're here for a short-term duration, like if you took an interim teaching job or you're here as a student, get ready, because if you've never experienced heat like Southern California, you're in for something special, I guess. Number 5. Limited nightlife and entertainment. Now, Claremont is a culturally diverse community, but it's a small community. We only have about 35,000 people here, so it's not the biggest city, and it's definitely one of the smaller suburbs, both in size and population, in Los Angeles and San Bernardino counties. So if you're looking to really party or hit the nightclubs or have a bunch of music venues at your fingertips, I've got bad news. This is not the place for that. Of course, every once in a while, especially in the summer, the live music scene does pick up. We do have a couple of outdoor music venues like Shelton Park, which has a band shell, and there's performers there during the summertime. The Chamber of Commerce puts on Friday Nights Live, which is a summer concert series that basically has live entertainment at different parts all over the Claremont Village, and you can walk around and enjoy different live music artists at different points all over the town. But we don't have any real concert venues. So if you are looking for, heavy nightlife, or you're someone that's an avid concert goer, that means that you're going to find yourself commuting into LA, Hollywood, or even Pomona, which has a few more music venues than Claremont does, which is certainly possible, and it's nice to have those options. But again, you're spending time in the car, you're going to have to put up with traffic, you're going to have to find parking, and it's not just as simple as going to your local downtown and catching a cool rock show. Additionally, the city tends to wind down early. So if you're looking for something to do past about 9 or 10 o'clock during the week, your options are really limited. We do have a couple of bars and restaurants that will stay open until 10, 11, or even midnight during the week, but they're pretty quiet and it's few and far between. On the weekends, it does open up a little bit, and there are a couple of establishments that will stay open until 1 or 2 a.m., but again, your options are quite limited. I will say that I am seeing this evolve a little bit, and there's a couple new restaurants in town that are lightly pushing the envelope, shall I say, and they are trying to stay open a little bit later and a little bit later. Like I said, we do have our 7 colleges here. While we do have a large student body that makes up some of the population of Claremont, it's definitely not a party atmosphere, and I think that leads to some of those restaurants and bars closing a little bit earlier. And it's important to remember that Claremont is a great town to live in, to raise a family, to work, and go to school. Of course, I'm biased. I've lived here for 10 years and I love living here. But there's also things that you should know that might not be so great. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to check out another video about local real estate, you can click right over here, and I'll see you on the next one.